Good morning, everybody. Let's see if this is the first shot. Marge? So, Marge! I mean, the fact that the lights are on, the lights are off, so tell me that I'm not only in opposites, but she's down there. Yeah, the coffee is imminently needed. You know what? I've got really used to having this like 7 a.m. coffee. Not to talk like an absolute snob, but like the early morning coffee is an absolute setting, and it really helps. So yeah, I need to go and get one right now. The time is only literally like 8:28, and I'm going to bring a few points today. So what I want to use this video today to do is to highlight a lot about the bales. I want to talk closely and intimately with you guys about grades. Yes, intimately. I want, and we know what intimate means. Intimate is like a connection of really getting to know someone, right? I know that like intimacy is breaking down. People just think it's shagging. Hey, guess what? It's not. It's like you can have an intimate conversation with someone about something that's personal to both of you. I think that's how it drives in. If someone comments and goes, no, it doesn't, then feel free to challenge me. Use the comments and challenge me. But no, I want to get intimate with you guys and talk about the different grades, because my idea and process is that based off of some of the interactions I've been having recently, and shout out to everybody who's new to the crew and didn't know what we do, because I know there's a lot of you that don't know what we do. I want to talk about like the importance of sustainability and how sustainability doesn't exactly mean like the best outcome for you. Like sustainability is sacrifice, isn't it? Because if you're to be sustainable, you're to do something that's inconvenient to what mainstream is probably doing, because they're doing stuff that they'll just run through and then they'll change and then run through, if you know what I mean. Like, not to go as one really bad example, but I'm not saying being sustainable is an electric car, because I'm being honest with you, half of the batteries that they like have in them like use nickel, which is non-renewable, but this video has gone to a mad place right now. But sustainability, it's like, it's inconvenient for some parts of it, but the process is maintainable. So realistically, with sustainability, all you have to figure out is how you can sacrifice your perspective on the things and the bits inside of it that you don't agree with or that you struggle to get on board with. I.e., like some grades, when people buy things and they get things with a little few rips and marks in and they go, I can't sell these. It's like, well, why don't look to how to fix them? Maybe you know some students that you can give it to. People sell them to garages for material. Like, the way that you need to use your mind to get into making it sustainable is really like how you get into like making it successful for you as well. Because there's no success in just being a car hot seller. There's no success in just selling Stussy unless you are somebody who's built it from the ground and that's all you've been doing for so many years. And if there's an intention behind it, you know, that's all it's about. It's about intentions and what's behind it. And me using my other hand to hold my arm right now. But no, I wanted to talk to you. Let me go and just find Marge a sec. Today I want to talk about the grades. So I want to talk about real difference with what we've got. And if I'm being honest with you, and I'm going to use this video clip as a public service announcement as well. If you've got a problem with any part of the business that's on this, as in what I do with its tilt and stuff like that, please refrain from using the comments down there to ask me tracking and things like that. This is my personal content, and I know that it's about the business, but with some respect, like, fuck off with that energy. Not to put it too much without French, but yeah, I'm not here for it, and I'm here to help, obviously, but I want my YouTube to be a place where you lot can ask me questions about stuff that are going to help you, not something that's probably just because a parcel's been held up or something. And that's not firing shots, because those that have asked on the comments, there's only one person that's annoyed me. So shout out to you, Love United. I know that you probably think this is targeted to you. It's not. I appreciate you because you're consistently watching the videos, and I really like the response you've had. So it's not, you know what I mean. You know me at this point, guys. Anyway, I want to do this video, so let me turn it around, because I think we've got some troublemaker in here. I'm not too sure. Hello?
Hello?
We've got a troublemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that earlier on. I was thinking, I need to tell you before I take the shot, because I'm sure you'd be like, oh, let me just check myself. But then the thing is without telling you, it's just all like very raw and authentic, isn't it?
I've gone past the checking myself now.
So, okay, so this is interesting. What are you doing right now?
Well, we found this jumper. I think it got dropped.
What, drop kick?
No, it got dropped and was left underneath a load of stuff.
What is it? Is it
It's Ralph Lauren.
I knew it was.
But the neckline was horrible, and I think we're thinking nobody could even repair that. So I thought, well, let's just give it one chance.
That's cool.
So
So
we've got
this is
stain remover, fairy liquid and detergent. And if that doesn't work, I won't put any bleach on this one because obviously it would dye it, but...
Yes. So this is actually very interesting. I just want to talk to you. So one thing I wanted to do today is really reinforce this grade situation. I'm going to go and get us a coffee in a moment before anything, but I wanted to just say I really wanted to use a couple of videos today to help people understand what we consider grade A, what we consider grade B, and what we consider grade C. I know you're only here for a couple of hours. I've got a life to do. We've got a lot of admin stuff that we'd like to do in between. But as one point before that time, it'd be really cool to kind of say, look, these are the things. Maybe over time we'll show people how to clean them. But you take a horse to water. You don't make it fucking drink it, mate. Like, people have got to like be a bit more applied. But sorry,
YouTube is a wonderful thing.
Yes,
Just
yes,
YouTube
yes. No. We are on YouTube. But what I'm saying,
but YouTube, if you don't know how to do something, YouTube.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to get bleach, you don't know how to.
I know somebody who learned to swim from YouTube before.
Bleach it. I know somebody who did their degree through YouTube.
Yeah, now people just do it through ChatGPT, and it's even worse.
That was you because you.
I didn't use ChatGPT.
No, you used YouTube because every time you asked to tutor something, they said, look it on YouTube, so you did.
That's so true.
You actually got better lecturers, didn't you?
Yeah, shut up. No, unfortunately to you, DMU, I think you had good intentions. I think one moment, I remember when we went to an induction, they went to an opening day, sorry. And I remember this point because it was my dad that focused on it. And they'll kind of say this thing, well, this line looks nice, you like this then? You come closer. Come closer, Abdul.
Come closer.
Now go back, Abdul.
Closer.
Look, there it's no, I remember when he said at one point, it was just like, he said 90% of people have a job after 6 months at university. And it was like that question of like, what sort of jobs? But the jobs could contain anything, like Tesco and all sorts.
Like it Costa, yeah.
So, but that thing is that they use a statistic to be like 90% of people, but it's like, but they're not even jobs specified to the degree.
So he said what's the percentage of jobs that were related to the degree?
I love what I do even more. I did a media degree and I just basically took that as inspo to put it in whatever I was doing independently. Like I never actually...
Yeah, well this is media, isn't it? So
it's all media. We're using a camera and a phone, but we're coming up here now.
You did production.
So what I was going to say is, I don't know like how we'll do it just yet as such, and it'll maybe just be a starting point, but this is literally my second clip of the video so far, but I kind of just thought, based on some interactions we've had, understanding a lot of people that are new that are coming through, and I think, I don't mean to just assume that like people know, but like I always think that because of the price it is, and because of my understanding of where I know the actual wholesale price is, I know that the value is cheaper because the grades are more varied, i.e.
I think as well, like you say...
Let me turn it around again.
I'm just thinking, we've been in it such a long time that you've been getting stock for over 12 years.
Yeah.
So you know what grades they come in. You know how much we can show them the mountain of stuff we had to discard.
Yes, yeah. That. Oh my God. Yes. This is actually this is a YouTube bit for this, and I think that.
And like even this is the stuff that we don't. The kilo sale is our non-tilt, non-site stuff.
Yeah. So this stuff that you see on here a lot of the time, this is the stuff that we. Essentially, when we get these big bales, what we've normally been doing is we open the bale, they're all washed and dried down there. We individually sell them, make a few little bundles with some items that are maybe just worth grouping up, like the Jack Wills Super Dry, Duck and Cover, random bits like that. But then all the unbranded stuff, it's been going here. So this actually sells at £7 a kilo. Is it washed? It's not. So this isn't.
Some of it may be, because some of it may be what's come through.
But the point to get to is this stuff is the unbranded stuff that we sell at £7.50 to the community, and it's a good price and affordable. But yet these bales are £4.50.
Yeah.
So that price is almost half because we appreciate we don't put a premium.
But also, what we're doing here is when £7.50, they can choose exactly what they want.
Yes.
So you can buy completely. If you were a reseller, you can buy just shirts if that's what
Yeah.
you resell, or you can just shop for yourself. Whereas this, it's random sizes, random makes. So this is why it's cheaper, is because of the less process on it.
But this is a conversation we had literally yesterday because we both weren't in today. Weren't in yesterday. Is like we're saying, people love like the stuff that's selected, like the denim jeans that are just men's or they're just women's, or they like, I don't know, like maybe they would like summer shirts. I don't, whatever.
You used to buy just sweatshirts, just trousers, because that's how it used to come. And that used to come at a premium cost, though, when you chose...
But a premium cost, but the supplier that we had for the longest time, like, shout out to you, would always, like, it would be getting the branded sweats, but it's like, take this in order to take this. But it was like, I never thought that was ever, like, a discussion for, like, argument to be like, what, you're taking the piss? Maybe sometimes I was like, I can't afford it, but realistically, I knew it. The same way with buying from Miami and with the guys over there, and they'd be like, 10% of it will still be bootlegs, and thinking, flipping heck. But we'll show you exactly what this accumulation of processes from different points. Like that out there, we've gone through it multiple times. That's actually still the stuff that's left from it. But
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll we'll go and chop up.
Is that on you or on me?
What? Yeah. This is on you.
Oh, well, I thought I was just like, I could have been picking my nose or anything then. I thought it was on you.
No, keeping it vigilant. Right. Sorry, I was just literally having a moment like talking to Marge, and then just because like these are just always moments I think in hindsight, I know the conversation's always good to have, but we just like, I sort of think I've thought of a great advert to make, but at the same time, I was kind of saying like Marge was saying then, like, the thing is with what we're doing and getting it for a cheap price, like £4.50 a kilo starting it, it's like, people have to accept that they're going to have to work through some parts of like the unbranded stuff, the less desired stuff, because that's what makes things sustainable. Like one thing I made a point earlier on is like sustainable equals sacrifice a bit. In order to be sustainable, you have to.
Everything's got its customer. You might find something and you go, who's going to wear that? You put it up, somebody will buy it. We've often said that. That used to be your challenge almost. We'd go, don't put that up, Spencer. Nobody's going to buy it. But somebody does. So just because you don't like it, somebody else will.
I also think this is an interesting point. Like, you know, like what you consider like a lower grade is so relative. I'm currently wearing a fleece with cat hair all over it. And somebody might get that and go, I mean, obviously if it's not your cat, it makes a difference. But like, somebody might go, oh no, I wouldn't wear something like that. Like, and I get that. But like, I think that for me, I've just lowered my standards of myself.
I look at this one and when I iron it, I go, oh my God, what is all of that? But when you just put it on and you actually know it's clean, then it's like, and you're going about your daily, and like I say all the time, if you've got real friends, they're not going to go, oh my God, have you seen the mark on their top? They're just not. And if they do, they're not your friends. We've all got clothes where like a bit, you must have your favourite sweatshirt that's all fraying. Does it make you stop wearing it? No, of course it doesn't.
No, it still does the same function. And I think it's just, again, it's either, you can either say it's lowering the expectation on yourself or taking things less seriously. Mate, if you like a top and it's got a tiny little mark, like, it's not that deep. Nobody gives a shit. This is the thing, is like, I'm not using this clip to sort of say nobody gives a shit, but nobody gives a shit. But when we come back to this point with this, what we're saying, what the point I wanted to get the camera for is, and it's this analogy I had as a kid. Like, I think me and we'd gone for a walk somewhere, and like Mum and Ma just said something about like literally the bluebells, and like and I said something like, if everybody picks one, then there'll be none. So in the moment of somebody thinking that it's beautiful to take that and picking it, if everybody had that same mindset, it would like they'd all be gone. But in the same concept of this, we get say 2,000 to 3,000 kilos a month at its current infancy, which has scale to grow. As a result of that, as the numbers grow, the percentage of it would stay the same, but it would still be that shit or that stuff that's like this, still a small percentage of stuff you don't like. However, when we're selling these little bales, right, we get, 250 bags in? Essentially, taking a little bag and taking a little bit is everybody like almost taking little bits of that responsibility. But it's just getting you lot to understand, like, if you get something and it's got a rip and it's not got, I mean, what we might do is some things like broken zips and stuff like that. Maybe we're going to separate certain bits of them.
Yeah, we do. If we do, we'll like take the broken zips out and we'll do them as a bundle, because there might be somebody out there
We've sold broken zip bundles.
Fixing zips or at putting in new zips. And then you've got Ralph Lauren coat.
Think about that though. Think about that.
You could have coat with a new zip that's now good to go again.
You could be somebody who also is like you might not even want to be a reseller. You could be someone who wants to be like a seamstress, or you want to get into it. Imagine that, buying loads of like broken zip jackets that you can then test in different old styles. Like, I don't know, like the other thing I have that I would recommend to people is getting in touch with your local university. Like, something that I would always do with stuff like this is like actually approach the universities for like postgraduate people who are doing fashion degrees, working with textiles, because they don't have access to that. And it's just, again, I've probably said it already, it is just using your mind. But
and also, most people in everybody's family has got somebody who can sew. Whether it's you, whether it's your brother, your sister, your mum, your gran, somebody can usually sew. And that art, that Japanese, if you've got something with a hole in that you can't just mend. There's that Japanese
that video.
Got a picture of it. The Japanese art of where you do the sewing over it and put little patches over it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Let's bring that back, because you know what? In 50 years' time, they ain't going to be making these anymore.
They're not going to make
This will be what you'll be wearing.
This will be what you're wearing. I mean, with the fact that they say that literally right now, what we have on the planet with this is enough clothes to clothe the human race 6 times, kind of tells you that already. Like, that stuff's got to go somewhere. There's not going to be more people going to be made. People aren't going to be made quicker than clothes are. But anyway, guys, this video is going to really be breaking it down. So for anybody who wants to know more about the grades, I'm probably going to be making this video targeted around that. So it's going to be a lot of content around that and homing in on that. So me and Marge have got stuff to do. I've got bits and bobs to do. I'm going to get a coffee and let this clip be what it is. But yeah, in between, we'll have 5 to 10 minute moments where we could maybe go through a bag, show you some faults, and then maybe just Marge or me will just show you some quick tips of things that you can consider with maybe an example bail and a bag. All right? Anyway, this is actually the last clip because you just said another point, and it's just, these are the moments I have to strike with. Now, one of the things that we've just thought about doing is going through a bag and showing you, but also with the whole wholesale thing, again, some people bring out a query. I'm a little bit nervous for all them bags that have gone now because I know there's going to be a percentage of people who go, this has got rips, this has got this. So if you are seeing this video and you've just got a bag and you go, oh shit, I didn't see this as things like this, can I just say that if anybody bought a big bail, I see it first. Something about me, I don't always notice everything. I mean, you've seen how many times I can't find my van keys. This isn't an excuse. This is actually just an explanation. There's 2 differences, okay? I'm not using this to say I'm not in the wrong. I'm using this to say if you got something, it's my fault as a result of that. But it's also as a part of the process. So it's not really as anybody's fault. In the way that I'm selling the things, it's just hard to show you everything, you know what I mean? Like showing all the like holes and rips and stains. But what we're getting to, or what I'm trying to get to with these lot, I think as we're coming together on it, is we've got like 5 or 6 lovely ladies, and we've got George who's on deck as well. We've got all these people who have the potential to basically make these bales, separate the stuff that, you know, some things that people might have got, we might have pulled them out if we went through the bags, wouldn't you? Like
Yes.
there's some things that you'd have gone through, and people like need to know that. I mean, I know a lot of the people have come from TikTok, and it's not going to be you lot that see this. Like if you're seeing this, you're probably, I don't want to say one of the real ones, but you're like somebody who obviously is kind of interested with what's going on. So big up to you. But like the big thing is like TikTok. I just can't tell anybody on that because I can't talk like a business. So it's quite hard. That's why when people go, where's the tracking? It's like, oh my God. Anyway, I'm going to go and get a coffee now because we've got a crack on. Sorry guys, we're not laughing at anybody's expense, but we're actually just having, I think, a moment of realising and reminding ourselves of like who we are in this scope of things. And what I mean by that with our ego is, so we've got a message from people, and obviously with some of the bundles, I think maybe people that are new, like they must just look at, they must see a whole different thing when they watch on the screen. Like, because this guy's bought it and he's gone, all this stuff is damaged. Not all damaged, it's a small percentage as a result of what it is. We just think he's paid 170. He got flipping loads of different football shirts, loads of different branded stuff. All he has to do is actually organise it, colour grade it, process it. Guess what? Do the actual job, pal, because that's what it takes. I'm not being an arse, I'm just being a realist. You need to understand, like, you've got to actually do some fucking work. You don't just get given, like, why would we give somebody £4.50?
Why would we do all of that work?
Why would we do all that work so that you can make the most profit? It makes no sense, and it just shows more so how ignorant people are. I know that I can't educate everybody on this, and there's always gonna be people, but like, if you are somebody who like isn't sure about what secondhand and vintage is, watch any of the old videos, or just like try and understand it. Try and get in your head.
And also the amount of people that watch, excuse me, without the volume on. That's going to wind you up, isn't it? But people watch and say, I haven't got my volume on. You think, well, put it on then, because you can't hear what we're saying. Don't bid if you've not got your volume on. Do not bid. No,
don't bid if you've not got your volume on. That's like... Anyway, I'm going to go and chop up a live now, but it's not bad energy. This is good. This is a good response, like, for it. I think naturally we would expect this. We're sending you the stuff before we've washed it. Remember, like, if people wanted a wash service and all this stuff, instantly we're going to offer you something that becomes a premium price for a product that you might go £7 a kilo, but it has like super dry stuff. It might not be your thing.
No, you buy it, and if we are doing all that process, we are going to sell them individually, because that's where we'll make the maximum profit.
Yeah.
So if we're doing the process, we're going to get the profit.
Can I just give you a quick tip, guys, to anybody who buys a bale based on the price that you sell it for and based on the experience I have? You only need to sell 10% of that bale in order to make your profit back, and the 90% will be free. What you have to understand is that there's 10% of that you might have to accept is not good and you have to get rid of, but also all 100% of it will need your quality control. You will need to look and assess, find the holes, find the spots, Figure out whether you're going to do grade A sales on individual items on eBay. Figure out whether you're just going to group bundles up for your live stream. Guys, guess what? I don't own bundles. Everybody's jumped to it anyway. It's not smoke, like get smoked Spencer today, this Friday, just like firing shots. But like everybody does the bundles. So you may as well jump onto that as well. Like on the stuff that's low grade rags and reworks. Jump on that idea. There's loads of people doing it already. But shh, we started.
There's lots of people out there who
I'm joking. It's not a flex.
Mending and washing and doing all of that. You've only got to look on Instagram. There's so many people that have got those kind of accounts, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Universities, go to the university, give it to them.
Yeah, do all of this. All I'm saying, guys.
Ones that are doing textiles, though, don't give it to somebody.
All I'm saying, guys, is what I'm realising is I can control how I respond to things, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to hold my tongue in the best way. But I will be honest with you, some points of things will get reactions, and especially stupid people might get the response that they need to get realising it, okay? It's not firing shots, but at the same time, pull your fucking head out of the ground and realise you're buying secondhand stuff that's been saved from the ground. Like
somebody calling clothing is like somebody calling your mum, innit?
Yeah, like don't chat to me about what I sell. And also, if you ever come to my videos again, and I'm not firing shots, don't come to my videos and comment things like that. Anybody that does that, zero tolerance policy, you will actually be banned from buying anywhere. I know that sounds really aggressive, but that's just going to be the way it is. Spen, when you watch this back later on, have a little feedback loop. See if this energy is a good one to put out. Because every day I put the videos out, I always go like, I watch a video and then I'll be like, oh, damn, I'm talking about stuff that have happened. But then I'm realising that the people that I'm talking about, relaying it to, also might watch the video. But you know what's mad about watching the videos?
That's good though, isn't it? Because sometimes then people can see that the reaction that it causes. I've got a friend and she always says, if you don't get a reaction, she goes, within 24 hours from somebody, she went, badmouth them on Twitter or X, whatever it's called. She went, then you get a reaction. And how negative is that? How bad is that it makes you think, oh, if you badmouth somebody publicly, then you'll get a reaction. What does that say about you? Are you the person that shouts loudly in a restaurant so you get a free meal? You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
You know the kind of person I mean, don't you?
Give me that spud. We need this energy. Let's go and hit this live.
Come on, baby!
Come on, baby! Oof, great clouds, but you know what? That's fine. So I'm just coming down to it might actually be just the camera. Having 3 cameras is like just having 3 members of staff. It's like constant management. It actually is a bit. Anyway, sorry. I'm not trying to come on smoke on any of these concepts, you know, and I'm not trying to shit on anybody. I hope everybody that sees this, I feel like you get it. I'm not saying that just because YouTube's preferred out of everything, but like I feel like you just get it, right? I've not brought anything to get these. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to take them in here. I feel like you guys get it. No, I can just take this as a pile afterwards. Hang on. Yeah, I'm gonna take these ones up in a second, but I just want to say I feel like you guys get it. It's not. I think you can tell. You could probably be able to tell if I was stressed or not. I think when there's a lot going on, I normally say less. So yesterday's video was like very short. There was just one of them days where I thought, I don't know what I have constructively to put out right now, and I'm not feeling like the best version. But today I was like, last night I was sat in bed and I knew that like the whole process was going to be really about reinforcing as much energy as possible into this sort of like grade situation. It doesn't come from a bad place. It doesn't come from a place of like I'm really annoyed that everybody has the nerve to message me this. I get it. Like, there's this woman who bought a bed. I'm not sure if you see this. She's a reseller mum on TikTok. Her name's Amy. And we had a really good conversation. And she was initially a little bit disappointed with what she bought. But I had to kind of reinforce that, like, what you bid on, maybe you might not have been aware of the full thing. Or, like, with the scope of what it was, there wasn't... You know, it's trying to get the message out quickly that what you're buying is secondhand sustainable stuff. But I think that, like, my part of the process is really, without, like, putting too much of, like, a point on it, is the price should tell you a lot about the product. If you're getting branded stuff at £4.50 a kilo and the rest of the market is selling it for £10 a kilo, you've got to understand what that grade might entail. It doesn't mean that everything's going to be, like, damaged and shit, because I've built a business of 12 years, and the last like 3 years to 4 years I've been making a much more sustainable movement into these directions and making it make sense and understanding how it works. So, you know, like reselling by individual basis is a big part of what I do. Wholesaling is an interesting part. You know, I've made it recently, like I want to do 60% wholesale. I want to do the route that causes the least resistance. And being genuinely honest with you, I want to make all of this like situation work. I want to help you lot be resellers. I want to help you understand. Again, I think what it is it's like I can kind of like just decide to stop buying this stuff from landfill and like just, you're not like not buying it, but like I can go, okay, I'm going to take much smaller volumes and just do it as a reseller for me, and just sort of like, you know, basically smoothing everything down, get rid of all the staff, do that and things. But I want to help people in a bigger scope. I think that that's what the purpose that sits within me is. It's like, Spen, you've done this since 2012, mate, and you're still here. You've not got resentment for it. A lot of people closed the business. A lot of people decided they don't like it anymore. Whatever the excuse or whatever the outcome a lot of people had, people just fucked off. And they like kind of went, yeah, see you in a bit, Vintage, or like, you know, whatever. And I totally get it. We're in the same shoe. I've got people who I'm not direct friends with, but associates by a business with. And I totally get it. These people that were just like, you know, I kind of like don't want to flip and do it anymore, don't want to be around it. And I still want to be around it, but with like a whole different scope. I want to be around it in the capacity where I'm just helping people understand it. But the difficult bit is that like, let me find some nice line. The difficult bit is that like, I'm somehow like seen as, or not seen as, I know that this is one of them things where I know people will be like, no, Spen, it's just, so for every like 10 nice people, there's always going to be one knobhead. And it is true. But like, what I'm trying to do with the wholesaling stuff is I'm trying to help people out get into it affordably, because I know how expensive it is to get into it. I know how impractical car boots and charity shops are. And one of the big things of like what I'm realizing is it's not easy to buy stuff cheap and do it in an abundance and do it with good quality control. And the service I offer doesn't give you that quality control, but I'm trying to work to solutions to give that. Like one idea we're doing is to basically go through the bales and figure it out and making it all. The main reason why we did the bales that were unopened sacked is because people were like, I like the mystery. And we've been selling this stock on tilt for the last year, and we've sold thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of items every month. And it's off the basis of like the people that understand what they're getting. So it's just an understanding. And the understanding is the main thing. And it's actually quite interesting because that's like one of my main points, I think, for people that are resellers, is like one of the biggest points of your journey should start with the understanding, and really actually understand what vintage and secondhand clothing is, understand the difference in it, understand how vintage is vintage, understand how all that is there. And if you don't know much about that, just drop a comment and say, Spen, tell me more about how an item becomes vintage, or tell me more about why sustainability is actually important for my business. I don't know, ask a question that you think you'd like be intrigued by the answer of. And if you're not intrigued by the answer, don't worry, I'm sure on the next shot I'll be doing something completely different anyway. I need to go to the toilet, and then I've got a live, which will be doing individual items and some bundles. So that should be all fun and games, and then we'll go and get that chopped up. So see you shortly. It looks like today might be the day that there's somehow just a really long video, so I thought you'd join me on this bit as well, because I just don't know how much of the rest of the day I might capture. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just hanging up this stuff that's been washed. So these are like individual items, obviously, that we've got that have just been washed and dried. So this is just the stuff that, you know what's mad? Let me bring the tripod. Let me bring Snoopy and the camera. Oh, it's all right there. Shut up, Spen. What I was going to say is, so when we ran a bale the other day, right? How the process will work is we'll run a bale. We'll run a bale and it'll either sell. We run a bale and it doesn't sell, and the one that doesn't sell for the last few times has just been getting taken down there, and we've been breaking it down. They take out all the stuff that's for the kilo sale, get prepared on the rails. They, I thought that was somebody coming in. They do, you know, they individually get all the items, and we separate it. We look at like basically our stream. We go, what items are going to go on the website, if any? What items are we going to put for the live stream? What items are going to go in bundles, and what items are going to go on kilos? And then we kind of work it like that. Like, we don't get to a point where we go, like, we never get to a point where we go, what are we going to do with that? There's a pile I've got outside that I'm going to talk to you about at some point in this video. And I'm going to explain a bit more about what that stuff is outside, because I think that that's interesting. And people are obviously always curious by that sort of stuff. Like, what is all that? But I want to just like explain more about the process. I want to help you guys understand it. I know a lot of you that watch this, you're probably kind of like, if I'm being honest, I think if you're watching these videos at this point, you're like, you're probably very, very screwed on anyway in terms of like, you get it. Because otherwise, there's certain people that might stop watching as a result of not liking this approach or this sort of telling. And also, it's not to tell people off, by the way. Like, it's not to be like, one thing I've tried to not be is that guy, and I made it in a video before actually, when I talk about soft selling. You know, these YouTube videos are still a soft sell to my website. Somehow from doing TikTok and not talking about what I do, people just find that. Although, get this, in the last 30 days on TikTok, I've had 75,000 profile visits, and it's made me think, holy shit, what should I put on my profile to get people clicking in the right way? So I'm thinking about that. But anyway, what I'm saying, the soft sell, people just go there anyway. I don't know what the point of that was, but what I was trying to get to is, I don't know, man, like, I'm probably just in my head about it. I think sometimes I'm in my head about these things where I'm like I'll take a bad, so shout out to my friend Sam again, who like sent me this, and who sent me the thing as I was at the gym. And this is the thing is, so I saw a comment and it triggered me, and then I had to like have that moment where I was like, how am I gonna react to this? Am I gonna sit in the gym on my phone for 20 minutes, processing how I feel, processing the response, or am I gonna just do some pull-ups and get on with it? I did both. So I sat there and did that, and then also went and did that. But it's them moments, you just control how you react to it. I let it win in that moment. Like, there's always gonna be people who don't like what you do, but it's realistically people who don't understand what you do. If people understood, essentially what would happen is you just have the right people buying and the wrong people wouldn't even bother. Like, but the truth of the matter genuinely is, if you're somebody who's bought and you don't understand, with all due respect, I think you've just taken the price as Bible and just assumed all of your best intentions without understanding the whole ceramic. This, like, a guy to buy a bundle with a load of football shirts and say they're in mixed qualities, but he got literally, even in the condition he got, he's got like a 425x return on the whole thing. No word of a lie, like not at all. He's got bits. And there was a shout out to, who's on the live, you might see this, David W86. Sorry to throw your whole username government, I hope you don't mind. But that's a nice one, that's a me one. Let me just try that on a sec. But you know, he's somebody who understands it, and I know because he's always been around. He's good affiliations with like Darius, who's also always around. Shout out to you, my man. Like, people that get what bootlegs are, people that get what these kind of things are, people that like understand the process. And as a result, it could have gone to David for like £5 less, and he would have understood what was in there and made the most of it. Whereas this other person bought it and then went, oh, all this stuff is like marked and damaged, and it's like, no, you're gonna get like 30 tops that were like in a great condition. This is me letting the situation win in my reaction. So I do apologize, future Spen, for making the video a little bit heavy on the sort of issue, but I think, like Maya said, that was the door. Hang on, it's so annoying. Really annoying, that door. Sorry, it's just a stupid door. No, I'm fine. I'm actually all sweet, you know. I just kind of like, I had one of them moments where I was like, shite, we're sending a lot of these bales out. What percentage of people don't understand what's inside it? How many people are gonna have different reactions? Like, there's some of you that are just, there's some people that just actually have like the best reactions and are just so understanding of it. Again, today's video was always gonna be about this because I feel like the way for me to get it off my chest and get it out there is to basically take this video and do all of that. So I'm gonna make probably about 4 or 5 like good TikToks today about it, essentially just helping people understand exactly the process, because that's where the transfer of the issue is coming from. People that see it on TikTok and they're doing that. But also, while we're on the theme of this, I'm going to talk about something completely different for a minute. And I just want to talk about like things you need to be prepared of with the competition. So a lot of what I do, I preach is like, those at the top collaborate, those at the bottom compete. If you are competing with somebody, you are in a loser's mindset. If you're trying to collaborate, you're in a winner's mindset. It's as simple as that. It really, really is. Like, if you are bothered by what somebody else is doing too much, then maybe you should think about what you're actually doing a little bit more. That's as simple as it is. But what will happen, so I'm not going to throw any names or any situations, but I'll throw the situation actually, not the name. So on one of our lives yesterday, or a couple of days ago, somebody jumped in the chat and was like, oh, this stuff is shit. But then I had intel that same person went to a competing person who was also selling similar stuff in the same capacity and going, oh my God, this is amazing, like a minute afterwards. And what I want to say with those situations is in that moment, I reacted to it later. So I just kicked them out and says, piss off. Like, I don't know who you think you are, but like, you're probably 14 and you're just like some runner for this like random brand. Or if not, like it wouldn't be coincidence. These things, there's no such thing as a bloody coincidence. There's such things as like flipping planned agendas. But what I'm saying is that those that are at the bottom compete, those that are at the top collaborate. It's not to say you have to be making a lot of money to collaborate and you're making fuck all to be competing. What it's saying is the mindset is that even if you're making scraps, look at the next person as the person next to you is how can I collaborate with this person, not how can I get one up. Because guess what? You're getting one up the ladder to absolutely nowhere. So you're just getting one up the ladder to pay more VAT, more tax and all this sort of nonsense. So realistically, you're actually just like shooting yourself in the foot. But what I want to say is just be better people when you like doing stuff like that. This is actually this is probably like more of my, you're slowly but surely going to see like probably more of like an energy response to certain things that challenge parts of my emotions. But I actively try to not use emotions because only rational decisions are what matter, not emotional decisions. I made enough emotional decisions. Bloody hell. Made enough of them. No more of that shit. And also, I'll try and control my language. I do apologise. I think sometimes the moment strikes you in a little bit. But yeah, people will always try and do things. You've just got to be flattered by what people might do. If somebody copies you, you've got to be flattered and just move on with it. If somebody's there to try and like douse your business, just take it as they're insecure by what you're doing and get on with it. And that's the whole thing. Focus on you. Nobody actually gives a shit about what you're doing other than you. So just make sure that you're happy with what you're doing and keep it moving. And that's what I'm up to right now. So going to get this live chopped in. Did that TikTok video go up? Yes, somebody's saying, why do you wear sliders and socks? And that's because they're comfy. Anyway, in a bit. Oh, it's actually Get Smoked Saturday. It's Get Smoked Fridays, right? You know why? Let me just show you this feedback I've just seen. This might be a theme, but not intentionally. So this person, I'm not going to block your name out, has said, I ordered 24 items and I only got 19. He kept all the good ones, which was the reason I made the order. Just FYI. Why on earth would I take items out when I'm not actually reselling items? I have a website and I do this. I think people just need to like chill the fuck out before you get banned from buying off me. Like I say, guys, I've been doing this for years. I'm not saying it in a flex. I don't need bad customers. I've got a lot of you that are absolutely like beautiful people, good intentions, and anybody that's going to come and leave a 1 star, I'll just presume you're just somebody from the competition who invested a little bit of money to try and cause a little bit of a negative reaction. It's unnecessary because you won't see me doing that because guess what? After I've mentioned this point, I'm going to get about my day and go and make some sales on tilt anyway. So, yeah, it's we like it anyway. It challenges. It keeps us aware of where the passion is. If I didn't get annoyed by stuff like that, then I wouldn't be bothered by the thing I'm doing. So that's what I have to remember. It bothers me because I'm invested in it. Yeah? Spen? That makes sense, yeah? Right, let's get on with this, my man. You know what? You actually join in a moment of like real feelings. Now, I do want to apologise in advance. What are you apologising for? For my language. So, people are fucking stupid, okay? And I'm sorry, but some people are fucking stupid. There's this real, like, annoyance that I'm currently feeling from the people who spend the least on a product and expect something that they've never really understood. Like, just sort of being called a scammer, being called all these types of things by people who don't really understand that, like, and this isn't even a flex, I don't have to do this. I don't have to actually be a reseller of like sourcing stuff sustainably to try and help people out. Like, it doesn't smash loads of meat on the bone for me. The best way I make profit is doing it individually, but I just sort of really like the idea of bundles. But I just wanted to capture this moment. I'm not like a whinging person, and I don't use this. It doesn't change the narrative. There's always going to be people who disagree. But my thing is, like, I'm the face of the brand. I'm here. And what I'm doing is trying to help people, like, get the right bits and understand what I'm doing. Like, but again, I don't fucking need people to buy from us who don't get what we're doing. Like, if you don't, and this isn't even with an aggressive sort of intention, I promise you, this is just more the passion that I feel about the process and the fact that me and my mum literally run a family business and have been doing it since 2015. And to have the audacity to come here and think that we're scammers get your fucking head out your ass and understand what a scammer is. The people that would sell you something and go, oh, here's a mystery bundle with like North Face and Carhartt, and then they send you Umbro and Sondico. That's a scammer because you've been misled a false route. This is no misleading. This is completely accuracy to what it is. And what I'm more frustrated about is the fact of people spending money without understanding what they're spending money on. I would never do that. Would you?
Never.
And I don't understand why people would do that. Guys, I do apologize, but this has to come across in this way. And if you're somebody who's bought one and you've been dissatisfied with anything at any moment, like, I'm much more welcoming to somebody going, like, don't sit in your feelings so quickly and think, this guy's out to get me. I really am not. Like, I really am not out to get you. Like I say, like, without a flex, we don't need to do this. We could stop this and I could just change my routes and go, right, Marge, we'll just do individuals and we'll just make it a much smaller scope and we'll just focus on benefiting us. But I don't want to benefit just us. No. I want to help you guys and get back to creating a bit of a team. And I know, like Marge said before, it's only a small percentage of you. And I know that 99% of you, all of you, are getting the brunt of this moment. But just, hopefully this just connects with you lot, right? This is like a real emotion, real feeling, and a real like annoyance by the situation. So if you are interested in buying a bale, please just understand what it is you're buying before. And please feel free to ask questions.
And I have got a good idea for a video that we can do to really, really show you for us to... But we'll probably do this after.
Yeah. Is this for YouTube or TikTok? Because I can't do branded
for
stuff.
YouTube then, if it's about the quality, if about these people, is we get a bale out and we really show you that how it can, when you first look at it, it can look like a grade C. But then when you wash it or give it a little bit of attention and a care, then what it looks like, then you decide whether it's, then you look at what percentage actually is grade A, grade B, grade C, branded and unbranded. So if we just take one bale and do that, I think that would be a really good idea.
Yeah, guys, again, this isn't for people like, I know that some people like don't have like the best bedside manner with like some ways of advertising. This isn't to say like, don't give a shit about people. It's just the people that we engage with, 99% of everybody, you lot are absolute sweethearts, and you know who you are, from the Sammys to the Petes to the Dariuses to the Lees to the Teresas to all the people in between that I've forgotten and never would forget. Claire, all of you, like, absolutely, whether it's TikTok or anything, there's so many nice people, and it's not a preach for that. But oh yeah, and Vintage Real ones, and Sam, and all the rest of them. And all of it, retros, everybody that we like have an appreciation to, and the Hennessy archive, everybody. No, it's all love, but it's...
I always say, if you've got a problem, come to us. And then if we can't solve it all, I mean, okay, we've tried to explain to people what the situation is, but if they still choose to do it, then they've got a completely different conception of what buying secondhand is and what natural wear and tear is. Yeah,
and the thing is what I'm realising, and one thing is, it's like, when I'm doing the live, people expect so much, in a sense where it's like, people expect me to, in a 60-second window, show you everything, tell you its authenticity, tell you its grade, tell you how many items. And again, I know that this is like a natural thing of like people asking the questions, but like what I'm realizing with our prices is, clearly we're just gonna have to invest a little bit more in the idea of doing the quality control. But as a result, the price is going to be £4.50 when we do that. So it's kind of that thing when like the sugar tax comes around and people are like, I know how to moderate sugar intake, but I'm now being responsible for all the people who, like, you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. And that's so, like, what we're saying is like, there's so many of you that like it. So what I'll say to you right now, if you like the bales that we do, we can offer to them at £5 per kilo, going through with us, whether you are like, I know Cozzy and Izzy and anybody else, and anybody who's curious, if you're like Dazelle or anybody, and you like, you want 100 kilos of something and you go spend, is there any chance you could do menswear, women's wear, some denim jeans, if possible not to have this? We can see what we can make it happen. And maybe I'll go, look, it's £5.50 a kilo or £6. But I'm happy to go into that direction with you guys that want it outside of the bale sales on streams. Because if it's not going to work on streams, then I'm not going to continue with it. But I am still going to continue it to people that want to do. Yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. This is a video about this. Marge just said a point that's very good. And I think it's about sharing the burden with things. Because, like, I know it's all self-appointed with what we do, and this video was always going to be about this because we're about to go down there and film a couple of TikToks about different grades, and we're bringing you along for a different part of the journey. But like Marge was saying, there's always somebody who's like, you lot, like, people want like the best items, and as a result of getting these items sustainably, you have to take shit that is less desirable. If I look at the stuff that's less desirable, I mean, I'm like looking at it and thinking, okay, is there an audience for all of it? Yeah. Like, it's just about getting it to the right people. Like, you've got random wolf graphic zip hoodies. You've just got just like plain hoodies. You've got these just random sweats, and that's almost like the antithesis of things of what it contains. I mean, the only thing that we are aware of is that there is like a small percentage that is like that can be absolutely knackered from the big bales, but that is still a percentage of what is saved from landfill. And somebody, do you know, Claire, so shout out to Claire, she said she took all the stuff that wasn't wearable, she sold it for £5 as like a craft box on like Facebook Marketplace, and someone bought it.
Absolutely,
and that's how you just go, look, oh, these items I've just paid for, I'm not going to make profit. So bundle them and sell them and make the profit off the other bits.
Yeah, because otherwise they're expecting to get all the grade A from us, and then what? We just have all the grade C. What we expected.
But also, someone goes, they get an item, they're like, oh, I got a Ralph Lauren sweatshirt or something, and I paid 70 quid for a whole bundle. Or you get like a quarter zip and like a Nike puffer, or something like that. And it's like, those 2 items could make you profit, and then you've got 35 items to make profit. So if 10 of them items are like, you can only make like £1 a piece off selling them, you still got 25 items to make profit.
Yes.
And that's what the thing is. It's
like we keep saying, if you are a reseller as well, don't cherry pick, share the burden. We're trying to say, we're doing it for a sustainable reason. We're trying to save the freaking planet. Join in. Try and save it with us. Don't just try and make a profit to put.
Facts.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Right, I know we want to go down there. I want to get a flipping coffee, man. Right, hello everybody of YouTube world. I'm not sure how long I've got of this clip. These shorts are booties. I'm taking them for my next car boot one that's actually going to be quite funny. So, brought down with Marge. We've just made a long TikTok video to try and like help people understand like a little bit about this, help people understand this. So I need to go to the toilet real quick because I'm bursting. Sorry guys, when you've got to go, you've got to go. But Marge is in here. We've just literally done the video going through, and I guess just trying to understand, showing the grade A to the grade B to the grade C. So I'm going to basically turn the camera around. It's quite hard to instill it now because it's very noisy down here. Turn it. Okay, turn it off for a second. Of course you can blow your nose. I'll take this away for a minute. So basically what I'm going to try to do with this video right now is we're going to talk about grade A, grade B and grade C. So these are the 3 grades that we work on, right? Now, those that know, grade A, I wish I could just like do an A with my, oh hang on, that's like an A, isn't it? Yeah, so grade A typically is items of a second-hand vintage nature in the grade A condition, but what grade A still means as a product of where it's what it is, like second-hand and vintage, signs of wear and tear are to be expected from grade A. So like Marge, you can kind of reinforce this point, like when we sell things at a grade A, they are still second-hand and sourced. So what would a fault on a grade A item typically be? What would the size of it be, or what would it?
Size would be smaller than a 5p piece for sure. And if it had anything, it would be only marks underneath the arms, at the back. It wouldn't be anywhere on the front or at the back that somebody could see. That's a big visual. It might be something on the inside, or it might be a slight bit of pilling. It's usually something that can be got rid of with another wash or with a bit of pilling or a tan. Could be like a bit of a seam undone under the arm, that kind of thing.
Right. Okay, so that's the grade A sort of thing. So now a grade B item, do we have... So this is a grade A that we've got here, right? And this is one that she's just got out a moment ago. Now, this is a grade A that I would say that literally has absolutely no faults on it. So this is a grade A item that is actually good to go. No faults whatsoever. But typically, there can be slight bits with a grade A. But... grade B is where, what I would say, the 2 words to notice on, grade B equals minor, grade C equals major. Noticeable is still something that hits in on grade B. So the difference is with grade A faults, is typically they're not noticeable to the naked eye, i.e. if you used to walk around the street. I mean, since showing you this puffer, did you notice that this puffer isn't a grade A? No. Would you know that there's something that we've done on it to ensure that, like if you looked at this now, can you see something on this right now that lets you know that this has been repaired? No, because Magic Marge is over here. But this is actually a grade B that they've just put this on that was like a puffer. Now that's something you take that off, someone's going to call that a grade C, aren't they? Because they're going to go, it's a hole, it's massive, yeah. It's a hole, it's unwearable. That fixes the problem. I've sold puffers in that capacity. The question you want to know is, what does that do to the price of it? Like if it's a Timberland puffer, without that, is it 36 quid? With that, is it 6 quid? And the reality is no. The reality is it's how you actually explain the fix. Like tell me more about what that is that's on there.
It is a self-adhesive fabric thing.
What does self-adhesive mean?
It's sticky on one side.
So it's sticky on one
So
side.
you can buy these in all different colours, and we wouldn't sell that as a grade A.
Even with that?
No, and we would give that a mention and say it's got a repair to the front.
Yes.
The same as this. So Carhartt will sell in any condition, repair to the sleeve. That had a hole on the sleeve. That's been repaired on the inside. So if people are warned about repairs, that's fine. Otherwise, we would have gone in a rags and rework bundle, or you'd have done it on the live and shown that it has a hole.
Yes. So this is the main thing of what we're just trying to show, is like the difference in the grade.
These stuff to repair it, zip tabs, they're so cheap, especially if you're a reseller. You can buy, I think it's like loads of different colours in this, and it's about £5. Look, you get you get black, you get navy, you get all sorts of colours. And it's a £5, and usually the chances are you only need a small bit. I mean, this would cover a full panel if
Yeah, it would.
to.
But yeah, this is that. So I know this is the thing, is that we do go round in circles with this, and I know, and there's just a lot of people who, it's a good thing. Like, one of the main things that's happening is I'm getting all these new people from TikTok. Tilt's naturally growing in its own platform. Loads of people are curious because if you're not wholesaling and doing bundles on places like live stream platforms, you are probably being left behind at the moment, because that's just where people are going. Not everybody's happy about it. I know a lot of people that are resellers that seem very begrudgingly about bundles, and those that know who they are. It's not a hate about it, it's just, I get it. And it's hard if you can't compete in that capacity. But
you sometimes do want to sell the single item for the person that's just trying to be sustainable themselves.
Yeah, because it's not actually, the people that are buying to resell don't realise probably as much, but like, they're buying from people who aren't actually intending to be wholesalers. Like, that's probably what's hard to tell, is it's like, if you sell on live stream platforms, you're just a luxury wholesaler at this point, where you're able to either get a price for a little bit more per item or not. I think that a lot of them, I think that live streaming is still super in its infancy. I think that there's a lot of things that aren't being done right in terms of the way that they're growing and the way that what they're being grown off. But I don't own live stream platforms. I don't own the ecosystem. I'm merely somebody who represents being a seller of it. But I think that what I'm realizing at the moment is I've got this like slight nervous urge in me that's like realized that, I mean, me and Marge just had a laugh a minute ago. It was just like, kind of had a laugh because we was thinking, this is really funny. Like, the situation that we're doing right now is like, this is really bad lighting, Danny. Like, we was just like thinking, this is really funny. It's like, the situation that we've got is, with the bales that we've been doing, it's just not an intention to make loads of profit. It's essentially to allow us to just get other bits to sell to you individually and just help out the supplier that we buy from. Help out the supplier who wants help to stay in the business, who works in this ecosystem that we're all a part of, whether it's charity shops, textiles industries, rag houses, recycling centres, car boots, charity shops, whatever part of the actual sustainable second-hand and vintage sourcing ecosystem, this is the direct product of helping it. And that's not like a tiny violin and get the sympathy out. It's just, how do you not go around in circles but try and like reinforce the same point? You know, like, one question that people used to ask me all the time was like, oh, how did your business start? And I loved it, but I realised that the answer became so pilot because I'd answered it all the time. I like fell out of love with the story of it a bit. You know what I mean? Like, and in a sense where like the rework bit of it, I'm trying to not get to a point where I'm frustrated with the fact that I feel like we reinforce a lot of what we do, but yet there's just people who, like, if I'm being honest with you, either haven't understood it before, are maybe being a bit naive, or just slightly ignorant. And if I'm not calling that to you directly, if you're somebody who's been dissatisfied, I'm just saying that, like, before you fire a question and throw a whole lot of shit into a situation, just sort of have a think about what it is you're buying, where you're buying from, and the people you are, because this isn't like Amazon HQ with me and Marge and our evil laughs. We're not here taking the piss out of everybody. And I know, again, 99% of you are all sweet, and I've not actually we're all actually good. It's just, for me, as you lot probably know at this point, and Marge is the same, that's where I get it from, we take criticism personally, and we don't try to. We try to, like, separate the emotional from the rational and look at it as a business thing. But I think that what I'm most, like, aware of is the fact that people are almost throwing me under the bus as a representative of, like, being the presenter selling it, when all we're doing is just trying to, like,
be sustainable and help everybody that lives on the same planet. Because we could just turn around and go, you know, fuck it, let's just leave it, man. Let's just leave it and let you lot keep...
Dog eat dog.
Yeah, dog eat dog, we'll just be the same. But we're not like that. So we're just going to keep working towards our solution. I mean, we could be like that, trust me. Me and my mum, we could be like that in a heartbeat. But the better intention we have inside of us is to not do that, because I think we're onto something with like this sustainability stuff. I just need to like sieve out all the people that just don't get it and that are maybe too like ignorant to learn. Unless you put a comment and say, this would be my ideal comment, right? Hang on, let me turn it around. Now, this would be my ideal hater comment. Now, this is a bit of a weird thing, but I would love somebody who goes, I bought a bale, I'm a bit disappointed, I want to know more about what I've bought and how I can sell it. Because then I've got somebody who is like, okay, I don't know why all this is a bit shit, or if the quality is bad, or it smells a bit, but I'm ready to learn about how to do that. And it's not to say like, oh, here's my book, buy that. But it's like, start the conversation and let me help. Because for every 5-minute chat I have with somebody, you know, or maybe on a live stream, you watch me, you know, join me on TikTok live or YouTube live. And what I'll be doing is just taking an hour each week here and there to kind of like clarify these questions. So that is the time to come on and go, oh, this has happened, because then I'll talk to you directly. But yeah, I think, what are you doing now?
I'm waiting for you. I'm just sitting right thinking.
You're off ski, aren't you, in a minute? Yeah, so.
Super dry.
Super dry.
Definitely made for small people.
Super dry made for small people, believe it or not. So, the time is 1:08. I need to learn on reading that clock a little bit better. I just had a call with a couple of business bits. Again, very interestingly with the situation that's going on, and it's all like related to the same thing. I promise you, everybody, there's not a theme of like, I know a lot of you are watching this now going, spend, don't need to justify, like, you do you and we'll keep watching, whatever. But yeah, like, it's very real. So like, just speaking to one of my suppliers just right now with the whole situation that's going on. I'm not making any changes based on a couple of bad responses, by the way. It's just that it opens up the floodgates of how are we going to navigate this in the best way. So like, this is like as a, you know, I've just made a few videos for TikTok about like how to swap the grades, had this conversation, and now just doing a few bits before I do 1 more hour live, and then essentially bugger off and go and get ready for later on antics. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's, you know, the thing is you know, when you've done something for so long, you forget that so many people don't know so much, because there's like an unfathomable, any industry you're interested in, whether it was film editing, whether it was kite making, whether it was like flipping paint in potatoes, whether it's like whatever, carpentry, like plumbing, like doctor, whatever the craft, you know the whole thing what I'm about to say. When you're within it, like, and you've done it for all your life or the majority of it, you know it better than like anyone who doesn't know it, basically. And when you have to explain something that's so like already well understood, it I guess it's like draining kind of figuring out that process. But I'm just sharing these moments and capturing it with you. I don't think that it won't take a long time to sort the solution. I think we're already in the process. I think shout out to Tilt who are helping on board like this with the system, and shout out to everybody who's already been replying messages saying like they understand and appreciate it. That's all I want people to do, is understand and appreciate it. And if you don't like the bales, just wait out for the individual ones, because we still do them £1 no reserve, and I'll be doing that at 2 p.m. So yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I think this has just been like quite a funny little end to a week, but I'm not trying to make this a pattern, and it won't become a pattern, because this just basically reminds me and reinforces that I need to just make content that's going to be exactly what people need to know. The time is 2:34. Spencer's figured out how to read the time. No, I've just done a little live, about 26 items, a couple of these, not the plate, and just these ones as well. Marge has got some other bits. Let me just get this box out of the way. Yeah, it was all right, you know. I think this is the thing I want to come back to, and obviously, as you know from anybody watching this video, probably sense the theme. I am somebody who wears my heart on my chest when I'm in that an emotional state, and trying to not take things personally can sometimes come across like you're just sort of justifying everything. But for me, I just have to hash stuff out, you know. I have to, like, this is just me putting my own personal clothes in there, don't judge me. This is the pile that I will keep getting bits. I have to hash stuff out, you know. Like, I have to say it out loud and just know that I've said it in order to, like, get it off my chest. But I didn't do that one actually. That's the whole point of the aim of the game anyway. You know, I've not got an intention to badmouth anybody's business. I don't come from that sort of place. If I'm honest, I come from a place of good intentions. I come from a place of doing this for 12 years, learning some of the lessons so you guys don't have to, and being decent enough to want to share them. And I know that everything I say sounds like it's coming with a pinch of resentment, and it's probably just coming with a bit of a pinch of disappointment, really. Probably unfair disappointment to everybody else, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't really ever preach about how much I do in terms of like, I don't really like to preach about, I do this and I do that, but like, I'm really trying my best to make the most, I want to go back to 6-ish, okay. I'm trying to do my best to be the best for everybody, and it's not with a kind of like, honestly, I'm not saying this with an intention for you lot to go, we like what you do. I know that there's certain, like, lots of you that are really supportive, and that's what is just so nice to come onto Tilt and kind of like get you lot chatting. I think it's just like what I'm realising is, as a byproduct of putting my face to the brand, everybody's associating me directly with like all of this stuff, and I'm just trying to like place that energy in my mind with like it being useful. You know what I mean? So, you know, what one thing that I've done recently is realise that I can't do everything. So as a result, I like have turned down certain job opportunities that would benefit what I'm doing in order to focus on less, so that I can improve more of less. Like if I work on 3 like main big parts of like what I do, they're all going to get a third of my effort, my attention, and my like efficiency. Whereas if I worked on just one thing, like when I did Gully, I mean, everybody saw what happened to Gully, and that's what is a result of putting all of your eggs in one basket. I mean, lots of things I'm fortunate about how that played out, especially with, you know, being in the right place at the right time. Not lucky, the right place at the right time. I captivated and grabbed to the momentum at the time. And that's what it was. But yeah, you know, like I said, I think yesterday, there's just that like minimal inner change of things. And changes are always good, because nothing changes if nothing changes. So you do want change because it does help growth, it helps progress, and it helps the learning lessons very quick. Like, so yeah. But what I'll say, and leave it on this point, and one of the next clips is maybe going to be one of the last ones actually. But what I'll say is that what I'm learning about what I've done is, when you put your energy and effort into something, and the feedback you get can come in this capacity, it has you questioning why you bother to certain capacities. And I know that there's the 95% of people that are happy with it, but it's very hard. You know, like that logical approach where someone's like, somebody could get 1,000 negative comments, but then they 1,000 positive ones, but they only look for the negative. It's not like you go out seeking the negative. It's just that like, there's probably that moment of like doubt that sometimes gets sadly reinforced in a negative way by a comment or a remark. And again, comes back to the YouTube thing. I feel like when people put comments in a negative way on here, it's like you've come into my living room and just thrown shit at me. And that's how it feels. So there's just transparency, obviously, with what I do with the videos. I'm trying to be an honest guy, doing an honest thing. But like, again, it comes down to it. The routes that cause the least resistance. If this is something that I can't find sustainable with the process of getting new customers and doing it in that scope, I'll just change the route of how I do it. Don't know if I mentioned before about like how there's always like there's a plan A, there's a part A to plan A, and then a part B. And we're still on part A of plan A, and we're about to instill part B of plan A. Shouldn't really use letters for the parts and plans, but yeah, we're about to do that. Most important, I'm about to just go and hit the gym for 45 minutes because I think I need to go and throw some weight around, which will be a good use of muscle, energy, mind, and mass. So yeah, see you in a mo. Yo, I just had this point actually, just make sure the van's locked. Just coming to the gym. I was having this point about what I made earlier on when I was saying that you have to do bundles to be in competition with anybody on live streams. That's not the case. And it's just come from a bit of process. But what my point is saying is that there's a lot of people, if you're selling run-of-the-mill vintage, or you're selling run-of-the-mill secondhand, or you're just selling stuff that's, I guess, you know, if you're selling Stussy and things like that, there's always going to be a market for it for a fixed price for now. And there's certain things that people will buy individually to the set audiences. But my point was, when I was making it earlier, is there's a lot of people that are doing bundles and bales now, and there's a lot of people that are using this wholesale approach for live streaming, and I do think that you should consider it as a part of your business, but don't focus on it being a part of it. It's not like a driving force. It's just like a mindful point, really. Anyway, back to embark on Loughborough. Might do a charity shop. Might also not. Might just go to the gym. We'll see. Right, yo everybody, you're joining me. I just literally grabbed a meal deal. You know what? Just the gym helped that little bit to flip in. Just go, you know what? Life isn't that serious, and sometimes it's all good. Choose the route that causes the least resistance. So come for a boogie here, but no, I'm just actually looking for some playing cards at the moment for basically some evening excursion I've got planned. Not your business. No, but she's just sent me down. Said come down to number 6, and these are just like bin bags. So I should probably just use my eyes and have a look. She did say it, but I told you I'm like 50% listening half the time. I'm 50% listening half the time, so I listen quarter. No. Anyway, say less. I'm just gonna find these bits and piss off. Okay, so the time is 4:20, and another moment's just been hit. I realised that I'm probably making a lot more clips this way, and I do actually like doing the POV shots, but if I'm being honest, I haven't really been like doing enough things that I've been able to do at the same time. Sorry, I've just had like some food. But yeah, no, I'm just capturing this shot now at this moment in time, just because it's kind of interesting. I was just sort of thinking about this moment in time, about where we are right now. I'm almost interested to see how this unfolds with like the different levels of people that understand and how people react. Like the moral of the story to this is that people will always react to things in a moment of emotion, and they will always think about the rational answer at the end, i.e. there's not really a good outcome ever from saying something's shit unless you've actually spoke to the person you've bought it off and they've not given you much of a report back. We work on like certain things that we do to improve in terms of how we actually work as a system. I tell you what, I was just thinking, like, just walking around the shops, just like, you choose the route that causes the least resistance. And I know I keep going, if I'm not even saying it's a threat, like, we won't do it, but all I'm saying is, if you actually want the bales and the bundles, me and Marge are going to be instilling it with the ladies at work, and we're going to be making the bundles how you want, with a bit of a premium price, but it's still going to be the same stuff. It's just going to be more understood and organised. I guess the real rag stuff going to be pulled out a little bit more, but it will mean a premium price, i.e. it won't be able to do £4.50 a start, and it will just be fixed at probably like £6 a kilo as is without that stuff in, just because of the time that it will take to build it. And I think that if that goes the way forward, then that just means that Tilt will become where we stick doing the bundles and the smaller bundles and the individual items. But you know, it might also equally not be. It's kind of interesting actually. Tilt, guys at Tilt are really good with this, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I can't even fault the fact that when there's an issue, they actually do like give a shit. And it's quite a nice like breath of fresh air. So I do appreciate everybody at Tilt. Yeah, do appreciate it. So they're going to have a banner made for the lives so that people can understand it, because obviously, like, being on Tilt, affiliated by them and like reflecting them as well, we want to make sure that we have the best rapport. So yeah, enough said about that. We've kind of gone around in circles. I think this will be the antithesis of this video. I will give it the attention it deserves, and I won't really keep this as a continual theme. It's just that I thought, let's just make a whole video about it and then move on. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's get it all out in this one and then move on. And not to swear, because I don't really like, I think swearing is a sign of unintelligence as well. And that's why I think it's really bad that I do it. But I think it also sometimes captures you in a moment. But David Goggins says this thing, and it's going to sound like really like offensive. So just embrace yourself. But he kind of goes like, I've got like an unlimited amount of fuck yous to the world. And I think what he means by that is, it's like, you've got to put the best intentions out for yourself and for others around you, but there's always that reserve inside where it's like, if somebody like goes, your shit, you've got to be ready to just in your mind be like, fuck you, but not like actually directly at the customer, like just that sort of way of breaking out the response internally, and then as a result being able to approach it more cordially, as in you kind of like need to just be like, fuck this situation, but then speak to the customer properly. Anyway, this is going to be one of the last clips of the day. In fact, let's just make this the last clip of the day, because what I've got to do now isn't really going to be worth capturing anything. And tomorrow, back at work with Marge, doing some lives, doing the normal usual bizzo. You know how we do. So guys, stay safe, stay sustainable, keep doing you, keep enjoying the videos, keep enjoying your reselling journey. Feel free to let me know anything you want me to improve on. But you already know what I would like you not to put down there if you don't mind. Because if you do, then obviously there will be repercussions, but not repercussions, they'll just be necessary actions that I'll take as a result of you thinking that this is a wise thing to do. Okay? I'm not an evil villain. I am a nice guy, but just don't piss me off. Like most people, you're a nice person until too many people piss you off and you go, okay. But no, stay nice, stay good, stay sustainable. Don't know why I'm doing it like I'm on Thunderbirds, but yeah, in a bit.